Hello everybody, welcome to your daily pop of positivity. I'm so excited. I'm in one of my favorite parks right near the skating rink, and it's really gorgeous here. It's a big, beautiful dog skating, relaxing, well-kept, gorgeous park, and I'm so happy because if you saw my IG, I got a big thing of paints and I am ready to rock and roll and spend a couple hours here painting and doing reads. It is just cleansing my soul. And I relocated my Fantastical Creatures deck, which was missing for a while. So let's talk about the energy within this. I love this Queen of Wands energy because in this is Tatiana, and she's the ruler over the fairy kingdom. And I love in the book, it talks about the eyes on her wings being representative of being able to see the truth in whatever is necessary to see right now about ourselves, about other people, about situations. And she's weaving this gossamer blanket with feathers of truth and a friendly welcome to enter fairyland, which we all love, right? I love this so much. And I feel like right now, the moon above her is representative too of an influence over planetary energies, over her power to perform otherworld initiations. And I feel like she generously gives valuable advice to those who seek her company. And I remember reading that in the deck, and I love that because I love all the fairy folklore, and I thought it was so beautiful. And, this is really the key when we want to enter our richest, most imaginatory future, right? Where we're able to envision ourselves being successful, moving in a flow state, fluidity. I was able to do this for myself today simply by saying, what do you want to do and what's going to help you artfully, mentally, spiritually, all of that. And mine was definitely to be out amongst a bunch of trees, doing what I love in a different environment, because I was finding again that if I get too habitual how I read and where I read in my yard, in my house, I feel like sometimes the energy pulls me in different directions. So when I'm just out in a forest or a park, it's this kind of energy, which is really beautiful. And aces are powerful new beginnings when it comes to swords. That means we have a different mindset. We are genuinely guided by our guides and angels to move in a direction that is going to be helpful. Freedom from restraints as well. It's getting a new cycle of emotions, unexpected help. Aces are fantastic for this. So don't doubt these new fantastic ideas that pop in and think that they're not going to bring about significant change or benefits, because they definitely will, especially when you're supported on either side with these. Like the Knight of Wands is so fantastic because knights in general are good changes that are coming, especially the wands. They are about help from spiritual realms and deep involvement in something that is going to help us accrue new knowledge, wealth, or whatever it is that we're working towards, right? Queen of Wands is also one of my favorite cards in that when we're going through a cycle of emotions, we're able to pinpoint where we need change in our thought patterns. This is a big one for me because, again, I can reside in a lot of habitual patterns, and when I realize, like, for instance, if I sleep in, because I'm very nocturnal, it's like I don't create like a beating myself up session about it, because I'm like, I still have that amount of hours that I'm awake. They're just different from a lot of other people's, and I work better at night. So I get excited. I look forward to, how can I start my day? I'm going to have coffee. I'm going to relax. Like today was one of my ideals. I was able to wake up, talk to a couple people I love, go get Hagen and Ian some lunch, which I love being surprised with that because I don't have to go out. And then I got to go just browse some really beautiful crystals and paintings, and then I was able to go get some of my artwork and then come here in a really relaxed way without over planning. But last night is when I started to formulate my plan for this. What is going to kind of advance my practice in whatever I'm doing. Art, I feel like I paint a lot better when I'm outside in a new place too, something about the fresh new energy. And again, it's funny that these are based, in a lot of fairy and folklore, because I feel like this particular park with its beautiful old ancient trees is really fantastic for this. So you guys, again, it's like we do need courage when it comes to success. So we do need courage to venture out of our safety zone and our comfort zone to go try new things, and to remember that when we allow for fresh energy, changes, growth, expansion, optimism, all of that, we're going to have the answers that we've been waiting for, because we're breaking out of that rut. And I know that a lot of people feel this, and September is a fantastic time to switch things up. The weather cools. The weather cools. I was getting ready for that breeze. I had a little blockade. The weather cools. Kids are back to school. We have more free time. If we have young kids that are going back to school. Also, it's like I'm definitely hearing that with this ACEs, it doesn't even really matter about the time of year, but I feel like the beginning of any month is a good time for change. And let's start to mark that. I mean, we've got the beginning right around the corner. What do you want to do differently? What is going? And I use things that help signify change too. Like today in a discussion with Hagen and Ian, we were talking about having a big super clean out of the house this weekend. And I love that because I feel like we are getting over cluttered with a bunch of stuff we just don't need. Sometimes we just leave one thing in a huge box, and then this huge box is sitting there. So we're going to do that. So initiate some change that makes you feel like you have more space, more clarity, and, just less tchotchke and junk around. So you guys, that's your Daily Pop. I love this. I'm so happy I was reunited with this deck. I always throw a few in the car. Oh my God, I wanted to share this really funny story. I was just walking around the park and I heard something that sounded almost like a dog, but a little different. And I was like, what in the world is that? So I go really close to this tree and there's a squirrel on the opposite side, but I don't know that. And he runs around really fast and he comes out eye level with me, like less than a foot away from me. And he just sat there and stared at me. And I was laughing because I heard this mom, as I was standing still, walk by with her son. And he goes, Mom, listen. She's like, yeah. And he's like 5 or 6. He goes, no offense, but I don't want to really talk about acorns anymore. Like, I've had my fill. I understand. No more acorns. And I was like doing all I could to like not burst out laughing because I love that age group because they're going to say exactly what they feel. If they're sick of you talking to them about a subject matter, they will just go off. And it was so funny. It's so cute. That's why this is one of my favorite parks too, because they have really cool dogs. They have like amazing stuff over here. And you overhear the craziest conversations. And this man was sitting on a bench and I walked by him and he goes, he had an accent, and what he was saying was, did you see the airplane? There was a really low-flying jet. And I said, excuse me? And he goes, did you see the airplane? I'm like, yeah, it was awesome, right? And he's like, yeah. It's like you just bust out in conversations with everybody. It's a lot of fun. But anyway, you guys, what I'll try to do too and post over on IG, and I'm always trying to do this, but I forget or I don't have my camera with me, is to film all my favorite parts of this particular park because they have this really cool big rock that has a compass painted in gold on it. The skate park is phenomenal. It has some of the most beautiful bathroom new facilities too. Tons of tennis, basketball, and the main park is really beautiful because there's a fountain the kids can play in. It is just off the hook. I love this place, so I love to share it with you. So I'll film some stuff and put that over on IG for you. Love and light, you guys. Enjoy your Daily Pop.